Welcome everyone back to the Pitch Podcast. We're excited to come to you today. We've got a great topic. I know it's something that we talk about internally here at Pitch a lot. First of all, introductions here.
My name is Matt Wade.
I'm Danny Ray. Dale Ratcliffe, our fearless leader, is not able to be with us today. As a lot of you golf course owners and operators out there know, as can happen, you have the greatest intentions on how a day might start, and then the next thing you know, you've got your firefighter outfit on putting out a dumpster fire. So
Exactly. And since the topic of the day is calendar, Dale can listen to it and probably come up with some ideas of managing his.
So here's what we thought we'd do today, talking about marketing calendars. Matt, why don't you take just a second and give the listeners out there a little bit of background into what it is that you do here at Pitch on a daily basis, and it'll give us some context and a lead into the marketing calendar.
Yeah, so I am the VP of Product, which is a fancy way to say that I am the middleman between our users and our development team, the one who plans what features get added, when they get added, the roadmap, and also kind of working with clients to make sure they're getting the most out of the platform. And was the idea for the marketing calendar, kind of oversaw that and got it into our platform. And that's essentially what I do, as well as many other things, but that's the main thing.
And what I do here at Pitch is I oversee sales and marketing. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing. I spend a good bit of my time speaking with and working with clients, so I'm very client facing. So I hear a lot of the suggestions and things that clients want, which is one of the ways and one of the great things is that Matt and I are able to work together so that if clients come to us, I think a while back, we had a few clients saying to us, hey, we'd like to have Pitch have Survey Builder in it. We kind of kicked that around, and then it's one of those things to where we just kind of decided we needed to stay in our lane.
Exactly, yeah.
But the marketing calendar, originally it was never in Pitch.
No, yeah.
But when we started kicking the idea around, Matt was like, I really don't think it'd be that difficult to add in there. So we really kicked it in to high gear, got the marketing calendar involved. So maybe a really good place for us to start here today, Matt, is the marketing calendar, and let's, for complete context here, we're not talking about just the marketing calendar that we have in our software. We're talking about a marketing calendar in a general...
Any general sense.
Right, yes. So what is the marketing calendar? Like, what is it and what's the purpose of it?
Yeah, so to back up a little bit, the way the idea originated is we had a lot of clients come or ask, what kind of campaigns do I send? How can I come up with ideas, topics, just what can I send? Especially in the golf industry, you're not marketing experts, or a lot of people aren't experts in the field. And we have a lot of knowledge on what to send, but everybody has to come and ask, what can I send? What should I send? And really, for everybody in the marketing world, that all starts with a calendar. You plan your events for your business. You look at industry-related events that are specific to golf or whatever industry you are in. Throw those on the calendar, and then also your holidays and other events that you can use for marketing messages, and use those as a reason to reach out to your customers and to promote a specific item. For example, let's say for the Masters, you can send the Masters is upcoming email, or you can put something on the calendar and say, we're gonna have a special of egg salad sandwiches for the Masters, and promote it, and then you are giving some sort of call to action within that email.
Yeah. So it's a way to be proactive, schedule out your events for the entire year so that you can see month to month to month to month what it is that you have going on, what you need to be saying, And I think more importantly, do I have something scheduled to go out to my database about that event or specific date, whatever the thing is that you have on the marketing calendar? And I find it funny and interesting is that the key thing the key reason that we started with the marketing calendar pitch was because we found that the vast majority of our clients were much more reactive
Yes.
than they were proactive. So we were getting these requests, and you remember a while, we don't get as many now, but we used to get these requests. I can't get logged in my account. I have an event this Saturday. I have to get this email out. Can you help me get an email out? And it's like Friday at 10 a.m. and the event's the next Saturday at noon.
Yeah, waiting to the last minute.
Just absolutely waiting to the last minute. And what we thought back then was, if we could have a calendar in our software that allowed folks right there where they're going to be sending their email marketing to their database, maybe the two could work together to help golf courses get much more strategic. I think that's an important word. Much more strategic in what they're sending out if they knew in advance what they were going to be doing.
Exactly.
Instead of waiting till last minute, right?
And the phrase you like to use, proactive versus reactive, I think really drives that home.
Yeah.
Is getting ahead of that stuff, and it helps you plan everything.
Right.
Another big point is any type of marketing you do, you're always balancing how much you're communicating, the cadence, frequency, how often you are reaching out to customers, and that starts with the calendar too.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't want to send 4 or 5 emails a week, but 1 email a week you can send, and that what email is coming up with that calendar.
Yeah, it all works hand in hand, because if you have that strategy and you say, I'm going to send out 3, 4, maybe 5 emails a month, we really try and focus on 1 a week.
Yeah.
Right? Not to get too far down the rabbit hole, but then that has dramatic impacts on everything else, like not having high unsubscribe rates.
Exactly.
Not having a lot of spam complaints.
Yes.
Which could decrease the growth of your database. So all of these things work hand in hand. And the interesting thing for us is we find that a lot of golf courses that we work with, they do not use the marketing calendar at all.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't. But for us, when we were developing our managed marketing services program, and we were building that whole thing out, what are we going to do and what are we not going to do? For us, it always came back to the first thing is we have to get and develop a marketing calendar for the golf course. It kind of sets the tone and lets us know exactly where we're going to be going and what we're going to be doing for our email blasts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the whole what is it, why do you do it? It really, in our belief system, it's the beginning of everything.
It is the foundation of everything.
Perfect way to say it. It is absolutely the most important thing that we do when we're helping a client get more organized, develop a plan and a strategy. It is, what are we doing every single week for the entire year, from club events to holidays to PGA Tour events, whatever we put on that marketing calendar. And the great thing is, I remember a couple of days ago, I overheard you in the office with one of the interns, and you guys were talking about, if I remember correctly, you were talking about the Masters specifically, about an email that could go out for the Masters. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but to remind you of the conversation, I think you said something like, instead of just sending out an email that says, hey, the Masters this week, come play a round of golf, you said to them, think about what?
Think about what else you can add in there. It doesn't have to mean you're adding a promotion, but you can run a special of pimento cheese and egg salad sandwiches, which kind of makes bringing the Masters to your golf course, kind of the Masters feel when you're at the tournament. So really just anything that you can add on and do as like a theme almost, for that event.
Yeah, and I think that the strategic thinking, the planning of the calendar, puts the planner in a mindset of, okay, we're going to have in 2 months, we've got the master's email going out the second week of April, or whatever that date is. Now you have the opportunity to say, okay, but we don't have anything planned for the masters. What could we do?
Yeah.
What's something simple we could do? It doesn't always have to be something
Play with the
dramatic.
pros or whatever. Yeah.
It could be. One of our favorite emails to send out is, come play when the pros play. Like, play around the golf on Thursday, the opening day of the Masters, and then watch the coverage in the restaurant afterward and see how your game stacks up. Real simple email. But if you are strategic in your thinking for any of your events that aren't club championship this weekend, like, you should have all the details. You're going to have all those details hammered out. But in thinking about the content, the strategy and the planning allows you to start thinking ahead to where you can say, hey, we do have Father's Day. We do have Mother's Day coming up. What are some simple things that we can do? One of our golf courses for, it's either Memorial Day or Veterans Day. I can't remember. I think it's Memorial Day. They do a very simple little promotion. When you come out, everyone gets an American flag lapel pin. And it's a very popular thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a very simple thing. Those are the types of ideas that I think can come about when you are being strategic, when you're thinking ahead. The really incredible thing about all of this is when you're thinking ahead, these little things about being more strategic in your marketing calendar can ultimately increase your rounds of golf.
Yeah.
They can increase your event participation and generate more revenue.
That's the goal, isn't it? Yeah, that's the goal. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Do you think the term event is too strong of a word? It can be a date. Think about the first day of spring. In my mind, I don't call that an event.
Yeah.
It's just a date. But the first day of spring, a swing into spring email
Absolutely.
that could go out. Something.
Yeah, those types of things, when we're doing our calendar building with a new client, one of the first questions I have is a two-part question. What are you going to be doing this year? And what are a couple of things that you wanted to do that you haven't done? Because that's the opportunity to say, especially for seasonal golf courses, do you do an official spring opener?
Yeah.
And people will say, well, we open the golf course. I go, well, I get that.
I would hope so.
I get it. You're going to open the golf course. But is there something that you could do that is a little different, that doesn't require a tremendous amount of pre-planning or a lot of effort on the part of the staff to make the spring opener more of an event
Exactly.
and less
Yeah.
of a, hey, the doors are unlocked, come and hang out. So ultimately, and you and I and Dale have kicked this idea and these thoughts around. Ultimately, all of these things working together, you have to give the golfers in your database, you have to give them a reason to want to come out and play your facility instead of going to your competition.
Or just reminding them about your facility.
Absolutely.
Remind them that you exist.
I mean,
it may provoke a thought and say, oh, I haven't played golf in a while. Let me go check that place out again. I enjoyed it last time.
Yeah, if you think about, now that we're kind of talking this through, and you think about the marketing calendar, the impact of having that built out, it's so far reaching. I mean, it can impact the engagement with your emails. It can impact participation and revenue. It can impact your unsubscribe rates. Think about all of the things that a good marketing calendar, or lack thereof, think about that impact on the business.
It can also, it gets people interested in what might be coming next. Building that engagement is a huge thing in the overall scheme of your marketing success.
What are some of the things that we recommend putting on that marketing calendar?
Well, If you are a pitch user, again, you don't have to use pitch to build a marketing calendar. Any old calendar will do, but
Including handwritten?
yeah, including handwritten. But we've added all of the major golf events, U.S. Open, British Open, PGA, all the big tournaments. We've added the holidays that can be used, and then you can go in there and add your own course events. If you're building one from scratch, though, I would recommend first plug in the events specific to your facility.
Right, yeah.
Okay, and then you add in the things around that. Being careful not to over communicate or under communicate either, but plug in your events first, then the holidays, the big holidays,
Yeah.
then your industry related events, the Masters, US Open, all of that,
National Golf Day.
and plan your campaigns strategically within those dates. If you have a week where nothing's coming up, that's when you send out, hey, book a tee time with us. Our tee times are filling up fast.
Or profit centers.
Our profit centers,
Profit
promoting
centers.
memberships, loyalty programs, things like that.
I think profit centers is probably one of the, let me rephrase that, all profit centers.
Mhm.
I think golf courses really get focused on booking tee times.
Yes.
But if you understand the value of having someone coming out and hitting a bucket of balls, taking a lesson, junior lessons, like a lot of times the way into a family and getting them to play your facility is through the junior golfer.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
thing. Gift cards. Do you sell gift cards? Can I come to you and buy equipment and you can special order it instead of going to a big box retailer?
One of the most unique ones that you came up with, I think, is this golf course was in a pretty populated area with a bunch of fast food restaurants and stuff around it. And what was the theme of that? You just said, hey, come out and eat lunch with us take a break at the golf course.
Yeah, they have a really cool sitting area outside, and they have really good food.
Mhm.
So I thought to myself, and right off the interstate, there are a bunch of fast food restaurants, and the golf course is less than 2 miles from those.
Yeah.
And it just dawned on me one day, instead of folks jumping in their car and running to fast food, if you're a golfer, why not come out to the golf course, grab a hot dog and a bag of chips, and either hit a bucket of balls or hit some putts.
Roll
on
a
your
few
lunch break.
putts,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you think about that came from the marketing calendar, thinking about profit centers, then thinking about what can I say about food and beverage that isn't just, hey, come on out and eat, and here's, food and beverage, the typical thing on social media, you see it, here's today's lunch specials.
Yeah.
Like, I really appreciate that, and it can have some value, but I think that there's more to the message when you know what it is that you need to say this week, because your marketing calendar has kind of guided you along, and then you're able to put some more forethought to it. You can come up with better and more creative ideas instead of waiting to the last minute.
Yeah. And you're not adding in promotions and discounting things just to send an email. You are getting full rates on all of that stuff.
Right.
Just informing customers that it's there, putting the thought in their head of having lunch, taking a lunch break at the golf course
Yeah.
instead of wherever they normally go.
And all of that, for me, goes all the way back to being strategic with your marketing calendar.
Exactly.
I mean, it just promotes so much thought. It keeps you so organized. It keeps you on track. It is.
That's where it starts.
Right.
Put simply, it's where everything starts.
Yeah.
And it's why it's so important and why we added it.
And we're not being hyperbolic about that. This is where it really and truly, everything that we do to help a golf course grow their revenue comes down to the marketing calendar and having that in place.
Yeah, it sparks ideas for you as well.
Well, I tell you, so last thing, we'll wrap this up. Golf course operators out there, they currently do not have a marketing calendar in place. How in the world? I'll ask the question on their behalf. I want to do this, it makes sense to me. How in the world do I get started?
Well, first, if you're a pitch user, just log in and go to calendar. But if not, pull up any Google Calendar or go purchase a calendar from the store,
Like a wall
and
calendar.
start writing the stuff down. But again, you'll start by plugging in the date specific to your course. Tournaments, any type of promotions that you normally run, things that you know that are going to happen on this date. And then plug in your holidays and industry related events. And between those, with all those dates on your calendar, you can then go in and pick a specific date to send. Okay, we want to send out this email on this date, another one a week later, and this is what we're going to put into those. This is kind of the content that it will be going into that email.
Yeah, and you know, a thought comes to my mind right now. We're at the end with our MMS clients. We're at the end of sending out emails promoting fall golf outings.
Mm-hmm.
We started fall golf outing promotions back in July,
Yeah.
and helped a lot of golf courses fill those up. Starting at the end of August, we started holiday party bookings. So I hope that we were able to convey to you the importance of getting really strategic with that marketing calendar, and how absolutely crucial it is, and how few golf courses actually use them.
Yeah. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet is now is the time to do it. As we're slowing down, 2022 is slowing down. Fewer hours in the golf shop, less tasks that you have to worry about. Start planning that now. Get it on paper at least, and then you're setting yourself up for success in 2023.
No doubt. Well, I'll tell you what, we are pleased as punch that you took a few minutes to give us a listen. Really hope that you found something, you took something from what we had to talk about today with the marketing calendars. This is our 4th episode, so we're moving right along. We should have episodes 5 and 6 over the next couple of weeks. We love doing these. It's been a blast so far. Sorry Dale couldn't make it. Dale, if you're listening, sorry you couldn't make it today.
And reach out to us. Let us know what you want to hear. If anything you want us to talk about. Danny has no shortage of words, so we'd love to take your recommendations and try to get those.
Yeah, for those of you that know me, you know I can do some talking. So.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We hope you have a great day. For myself, Danny Ray,
Matt Wade. Talk to you soon.